Hey, hey. Okay, so this is what I think is going on. There are 88 keys on a piano, right? Well, wouldn't you know it, there are also 88 official constellations. Alright, so I think that these things, because we're manipulated by a whole bunch of different ways, but mainly tone, frequency, and vibration, it seems like. So there are 88 constellations and 88 keys on a piano. So that tells me that this is definitely, these are notes. These stars are playing a song, and the constellations, the zodiac, whatever, you know, they're doing, it's a song and dance, man. It's a cosmic song and dance. So these stars, 88, right? Just think about the movie The Goonies. She had to play a song on the piano, right, to get out, right? And the Bible talks about the keys of the bottomless pit, but we've talked a bunch of times about how we really think that's got to do with, you know, with notes, not like a set of car keys or house keys. So these stars, this is what I think they're doing. Okay, they're not twinkling as we're told. What you're looking at is a speaker that's covered in paint. And this is in slow-mo, watch. These stars aren't twinkling, they're like pulsating. They're giving out, it's like this. You see how the speaker's bouncing up and down? That's what the stars are doing. But they're putting out, just like the speakers, they're putting out a tone, they're putting out a song, they're putting out sound. I don't know how well you can see that. Let me zoom in. Let me do one more time. You see, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, man. Absolutely. And it's all putting out a sound. And Saturn, right? Its original name is Bell Saturn. And again, we're not gonna talk about the authenticity of this, okay? But what I'm just saying is that Saturn's original name is Bell Saturn. Neil Armstrong and those retards said that whenever they landed on the moon vibrated like a bell. It's also a scientific statement, or not statement, but fact or whatever. I've shown you. It's in several articles. They say the Earth vibrates like a bell. Okay, we're putting out sound and frequency and all that stuff. And Saturn's rings are named A, B, C, D, E, or excuse me, I think it's A, B, C, D, F, and G, and maybe even E. Either way, regardless, they're music notes, man. They're music notes. And then these things are up there swimming around in the water, putting out, because we're made of water. This Earth is the majority of us is water. The majority of the Earth is water. And we got a song and dance going on above us every day that no one's paying attention to. And the Earth is connected to Saturn. The sun, excuse me, this Earth is too, but we're not. The sun is specifically magnetic rope observed for the first time between Saturn and the sun. So Saturn's putting out this tone. It's coming through the sun, and it's also bouncing off the moon somehow. All right, so here's a scientific fact. Saturn and the sun are connected. It's feeding all this stuff. What we basically got is we've got, like they explain in Hellraiser 4, Hellraiser Bloodline, is that because even then it's inside the box. It's inside the cube in the movie. So that's what we are. We're all boxed up. We're in the cube. And inside the cube, you've got light bouncing off each other, feeding itself. And feeding off itself, I mean. So that we're in this glass case, and either Saturn is inside here with us in this firmament, as well as the stars, which, you know, that says they're part of all the firmament anyway. But regardless, these planets, I don't know, man. I don't think they really look like how we even see through a telescope. None of this is important, okay, right now for what we're talking about. So whether Saturn's in this dimension with us or inside the firmament with us, one way or another, it's connected to the sun. And so are the stars and all of this, what have you. So it's putting off this sound. It's coming through the sun. and it's bouncing off the moon, and this light and this sound, it's bouncing off this glass, off this firmament, off this crystal, whatever this is that surrounds us, and it's feeding off itself, giving us the projection, the 3D projection that we've got. The sun is going to change. It's just like Saturn. The frequency, the tone's going to change. Whenever time and space change and this new sun god comes out, all right, let's not get the S-U-N confused with the S-O-N, because I didn't talk about that in the last video, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to do that right now. And Saturn is the pressure cooker, man. Here's an old thing from Popular Science way back in the day. Can you see? Saturn. It's more like a pressure cooker. So Saturn's been consuming all of this energy, whether it be positive or negative, and it's going to puke up. It's going to give it all out. It's going to just throw up. It's going to purge. It's been binging. Now it's going to purge. And when it does, everything, the atmosphere, this whole place is going to change because the sound is going to change. So that's what this is with Aquarius, man. You're going to reap what you've sown. Everything you did in Pisces is going to either come back to bite you in the ass, or you're going to be repaid. You're going to be whatever, vindicated, you're going to be rewarded, whatever it is. And we've talked about the 88, right? That's not very, hold on. Oh, I should have had this set up. That's okay. Look how slow that is, dude, just to change the custom. This is a 10-year-old computer. I love this thing, though. It's an E-machine, too. It's great. It's such a piece of junk, but it works so well. The number 88, right? These are the wheels. You got that super popular song in the 90s by Semisonic. Excuse me. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning end. Some other beginning's end. They're just talking about the beginning and the end. They're connected because they're really the same. It's the wheel. It's the gears. It's the cycles. So these are the Hot Wheels. You know that toy car company, Hot Wheels? These can be the Hot Wheels because it'll take you to hell if you let it. And it's not like the wheel or the circle is such a bad design because you can learn something you missed the first time around. But it's the problem of getting stuck on it. That's the trouble. And here it is from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? So whenever we sing, because you know with the aliens, and they talk about the aliens, they can read your mind and they're telepathic and telekinetic, so are we. The only reason why we speak now, and it's a known fact, and look, I've had 5 years of college too, so I've studied, you know, linguistics and phonetics. I was an English major in college, and then I changed to radio broadcasting. I've had 5 years of college, okay, so I've been through these college courses, and they tell you that 90% of communication is nonverbal. Excuse me, nonverbal. Meaning we don't need to speak. We really don't. You can tell without someone telling you if they're pissed off, if they're sad, if they're happy. You don't need the language. So like with the aliens, we used to be able to speak with our mind too. The only reason why we use our mouths, we used to even eat without our mouths. I think we used to suck it in like photosynthesis, the light, like the plants do. But then everything changed the last time this whole calamity happened. And so we use just like Confucius, the ancient Chinese philosopher, right? Signs and symbols ruled the world. We were controlled by signs and symbols. Now, in Pisces, we were controlled by the alphabet, and now it's going to be a whole different way. So we used to not even have to, but so now we're using our mouth to communicate, so they can A, control us, and B, it's all part of the same thing. Know what we're saying and hear what we're talking about, what we're thinking. And so in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they show you how whenever you sing and stuff like that, but think of churches, man, and these things are all designed to acoustically rock this joint and send that energy straight up to where it goes, or down, or whatever the case may be. So listen, this is them playing a bunch of people singing in unison, and listen, it tells you, it gives off a tone. You hear that? So whenever we're doing this, we're singing all this, speaking whatever, you're giving off, it's a tone that's going out to the universe. And that's when, and then when the aliens came in the movie, that's what they did. They got a little keyboard out and they played little notes along, back and forth. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say for today. Yeah, man, it's a song and dance. It's a song and dance. All right, thank you to my subscribers out there for watching, and appreciate all the support. Really do. I really, really do. Thank you. For real. Thank you. I mean it. Oh yeah, and one more thing, because I wanted to mention this. Like, doesn't anyone find this interesting that last year they threw a probe, they threw something into Saturn, and then now this year they're doing the Touch the Sun mission, where they're doing the same thing? So last year they threw something into Saturn, and now this year they're going to throw something into the Sun. I just find that really suspect. Especially since they have a plan. I've done videos on it. It's a fact. It's a real thing, where it's called Project Lucifer, where they're trying to kickstart a planet and turn it into a sun by throwing basically a bomb at it and causing some sort of nuclear chain reaction. And Saturn supposedly used to be a sun, but regardless, that's speculation, quote unquote, but it's a fact. I've done videos on this. It's called Project Lucifer. And throw a bomb at a planet and hopefully turn it into a sun. I just think that's pretty interesting. Colors themselves give off a range of wavelengths and range from low frequency to high frequency light. So you yourself give off light as well, right? Because the chakras in your body, the fingers on your hand, ruled by planets. And those planets are also ruled and associated and assigned colors. So the Tesla 369 system, Saturn, Sun, and the Moon. I think Saturn's basically the stereo. The song's coming through the Sun. It's bouncing off the Moon. And all that light's bouncing down to us. We give off light. We give off energy. Comes through the Earth, which vibrates like a bell, right? And I think that's what the Aurora Borealis is. The Northern Lights, that's the spiritual energy, that's the energy or whatever that we're giving off that goes back through the Sun and back to Saturn. So, Saturn's the stereo, and we're the batteries, we're the power that's keeping the stereo playing songs. We're inside this glass case, our light, the Sun's light, the Moon's light, all bouncing off each other, feeding off itself, giving us the projection, giving us the reality that we're experiencing. That's what I think. Okay, so far anyway.